Hello. What is the most precious memory you can think of your childhood with your father? Can you visualize it for me now? Was it that day at the ballpark where he caught that pop fly and handed you the ball while you were beaming? Was it the first time you performed a complicated pirouette in front of an audience, but managed to steal a glance at his proud face in the crowd? Would you like to hear mine? I grew up without a father from 18 months to shortly after my 7th birthday. My mother had just started to finally build a relationship with a man who already had 2 sons from a previous marriage. I remember one of the first times that we all got together, he took us to the Midway Arcade. There he handed me a stack of quarters and introduced my young mind to the stunning towers and flashing lights of an arcade machine. I remember watching him with reverent awe as he deftly manipulated the left and right flippers on a pinball machine, keeping that shining silver orb in play at all times. My mom married that man, and he became my dad. He legally adopted me, and from that point forward, he simply was my father. In today's modern hectic world, we are a society faced with many pressures and distractions. It's hard sometimes to not lose focus of what's important in life. Our economy is facing the toughest time in decades. Our world is consumed by wars and natural disasters. Anytime you turn on the TV, there's bad news. Our minds are distracted by Facebook, Twitter, iPhones, and iPods, and any manner of distractions on high-def screens. It's very difficult these days to be a parent, and believe it or not, it's even harder to be a father. The demands of life on a set of parents have never been higher. Regardless of whether 2 people are married or divorced, if they have children, the stress of actually being present is constantly there. The crisis we face in society, however, is that many men, after becoming a father, simply aren't there for the child. It doesn't matter if the critical support comes in the form of financial, emotional, creative, or just plain play. It's so important and crucial for the healthy development of a child. Turns out, it's not only critical for the child, it's a financial burden our nation is having to bear, and our resources are stretched thin as it is. Let's examine some of the social and economic costs of a father being absent in a child's life. According to 2009 Census Bureau data, over 24 million children live apart from their biological fathers. That's 1 out of every 3 children in America. 2 out of every 3 African American children live in father-absent homes. 1 in 3 Hispanic children live without their dads, and 1 in 4 Caucasian children live in a father-absent environment. In 1960, that statistic was only 11%. 9 out of 10 mothers, 93%, agree that this is a crisis in America. And according to 2006 federal government expenditures, $98 billion was spent providing assistance to fatherless homes. So, as you can see, this is not only a growing problem, an expensive problem, but it's steadily growing worse. So what does it mean to be a father? What does it take and what benefits does it provide? The importance of being a father in a child's life simply cannot be understated. It is more than labeling oneself a dad and simply leaving it at that. An effective father nurtures the relationship he has with his child and his child's mother, regardless of marital status. This can be especially challenging in a divorce situation or a dual household. It's crucial, though, for a child to see the healthy relationship develop between a mother and a father. An effective father spends time with his children, not just sitting with them, but playing with them, being present in the moment with them. A truly effective father nurtures his child. This can mean a multitude of things, from emotional support, creativity, structured discipline, financial support, and love. A child needs the appropriate amount of discipline, a firm hand when it's required, and a warm hug even when it's not. A father should be able to apologize to his child, because we are not perfect, we are simply human. A truly amazing father serves as a role model for his child, both in deed and word. His core values should reflect those of society, ageless and cherished values of respect, courage, truth, and honor. Ideally, he protects and provides, from the earliest moments when he brings home a tiny new life, to those first driving lessons, to the age-old talk about the birds and the bees. He's a guide to the outside world, It's a daunting task, but a truly good father will be there for the first haircut, the first day at kindergarten, that toss the baseball after work when his back hurts and he's tired, or that first ballet practice, smiling and reminiscing to the earliest tea parties with Sally the smelly dolly and Barbie in attendance. From the very first steps to the very last day of college, it is so important to just be there. My favorite moment with my son, who is 5, came when I took him on a Disney cruise to the Bahamas. The two of us flew across country. We rode trains, trams, buses, any manner of transportation. The jubilation ran hand in hand with the exhaustion as the cruise ended with Pirate Day on the ship. Everyone, including myself and my son, dressed as pirates. The dining theme of that night was the pirate theme, and everyone dressed. We danced on the top of the ship until we were delirious as fireworks exploded over the bow. My tiny boy was so tired he could barely walk back to our cabin, and he fell asleep in my arms with the words, "I love you so much, Daddy." If you have children, imagine your most precious memory with them. Imagine what their precious memories will be for their children. And imagine yourself now as a grandparent, holding your grandchild with the beam of pride in your son and daughter's eyes. It goes on and on, love repaid with kindness, an endless cycle in which we raise good members of society. We are role models. In conclusion, let me impart one of my favorite quotes from John Cradell. Kids spell love T-I-M-E. To be a truly great father requires time. It demands sacrifice, patience, and above all, presence. A good father nurtures his child in body, mind, and spirit. He provides and protects for the child, from a safe home to a safe car. He treats the mother of his child with respect, if not love, depending on the circumstances. He plays with his child, be it with a headless Barbie, a baseball, or a Boba Fett. A truly amazing father does all of that. He provides a healthy sense of structure, appropriate discipline, compassion, and wisdom. If those of you who are listening today are fathers, remember, you are a role model. What you mold today becomes the father of tomorrow. With that very first quarter at the Midway Arcade, I learned this lesson. And I hope that one day my young son will look at me and repeat the words to the man who taught me the true importance of being a father. The words, "Thank you, Dad." Thank you.